Howdy folks, in today's episode of Pool School, I'm going to show you how to replace a bottom feed autofill valve. So let's get going. Alrighty, first things first. So if your pool is so equipped with an auto water leveler or an automatic water leveler, it's going to come in two different forms if it's built in. It's either going to be a bottom feed, which is what I'm going to be replacing today, or it's a side feed, which I'm not replacing today. I will do another episode of that in the future when the need arises for me to replace one of my clients. Anyway, a bottom feed autofill valve, basically it's a float valve and you can get it at your local hardware store. It's the same kind of valve you would use in a toilet tank. So this is what I use, this one right here, and I picked this one up at Home Depot and it was under $10. So that's the price that kind of the price rating that we go for in Arizona. I don't know what it'll be in your area, but you can also find these online, I'm sure. So I'm leaving that up there. Again, it's just a typical toilet tank autofill float valve, and I'm going to show you how we put one in. The cool thing about these valves is you don't need any special tools to put them in. It's just all hand tight. So that makes it a lot easier. In order to make sure that there's no water going to the current autofill valve, because if you take it out, then you'll have a geyser of water spraying all over the place. So you want to turn off the water feed supply or the water supply to the autofill valve. Now in most cases, I'm going to flip this camera around. In most cases, the feed or the supply line for the autofill valve is usually somewhere in the backyard hose spigot. So there's a spigot and that's where the water goes to. Again, this is Arizona, so I don't know if it may vary in your neck of the woods. Anyway, if you notice, this pipe right here, this is the auto feed. This is the water line that goes to the autofill valve. And these here, this one and this one, are the shutoff valves, and they're actually, it feeds, they usually have two, I'm not sure, but that's the regulation out here. And you notice I have this one perpendicular to the pipe, okay? So here's the general rule of thumb. When it is parallel or running in the same line as the pipe, the water flow is on. If you shut it off, just twist it, and it goes perpendicular, and that's blocking it. And this one again is in line. It's running this way. See how it's running this way? And the pipe is running this way. So this one's still on. And you really only need to shut one off, but you want to make sure you shut it off. So I've got the main one of them shut off. So now I'm going to go replace the valve. I'm heading over here to my sump. This is the cover that protects the opening to the autofill valve. And there's the old one. And the old one just keeps running, and I can't shut it off. So I'm just gonna take the old one out. Very simple to do. All I'm gonna do, give me just a second, I gotta roll my sleeves up. I'm in here, and I'm gonna disconnect the top half of this valve. Just a second. So anyway, this is the top half of it, and all I did was this little ring right here, it clicks down and it up, and when you put it up, then I can take this half of it off from the bottom there, and now I can just reach down there, and with my hand I can unscrew this pipe or the bottom portion of this thing, and this is going to come right out like that. So there it is. Alrighty, so I've got the old valve out, and this is the new valve. I'm going to unpack it, and I'm going to just show you the parts that I use and the parts that I don't use. You can use this, that'll prevent water from spraying around when you use it, which is fine. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this piece off right here, this little washer, and pay attention to the beveled part of it. That goes down. You're going to remember that. I take this off, and I'm going to take this little retaining screw right here. Wait a minute, got to open this up. And this piece right here is going to screw onto the bottom of this base in this way. So the flat side is on the bottom. Can you see that? So there's the flat side, and this side is kind of more up. All right, so I'm going to screw that on a bit. Okay, so that's my first thing. Let's screw that on all the way up. Then I'm going to take my O-ring, this ring right here. okay? And I want to get this far enough up that when I screw this down into the bottom of the sump, and I'll show you that in a second, that this can screw all the way down into it. And then this will help seal it. So I'm going to flip this around and let you see the actual sump. All right, so there it is, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but you see that hole down there? That's threaded. And this part right here, that threaded part, screws into that hole. And you want to get it all the way down into it before you tighten up that retaining nut right there. So I'm going to do that right now. So in order to take this bottom half away from the top half, I just take this little white retaining washer, whatever you want to call it, and I pop it up like that, and then I can slide this apart. I kind of got to twist a little bit and it'll come right up. Now I can screw this down into the bottom of the sump. So let's flip the camera and we'll do that. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to put that down inside there, and I'm just going to start screwing it in. And I'll know it only goes in about an inch or so. So screw it all the way down and it'll stop. There it goes, it stops. And there it is down there. It's in there, it's a little hard to see. Now what I can do is I can take that white retaining nut that had that red washer on the bottom of it, and I'm gonna screw that down. Okay, so I'm doing it clockwise, right? Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I'm gonna do it clockwise, and that it's gonna press that red washer down against whatever gap might be there with the threaded part of that screw or with the threaded part of that opening, and that's just going to hold it in there. That just prevents leakage. All right, so that's down in there. That's all I had to do. Now I'm going to take this and attach it back in. Now this is where it gets tricky, okay, because adjusting your height, and you notice my pool water level, see that over there? You can see where the water level is and the water line is. So my water level has gotten a little bit low because I've had to have this off for the week. So I'm gonna have to adjust it to where it can get to that level without overflowing. And you might just have to keep an eye on it to make sure it's where you want it to be. So all I do is I'm gonna take this and push it down onto that base down there. And then that base, I can adjust this by pulling this up and leveling it up and down, and it like kind of locks in. And then I lock that back on, and that's how I can adjust the height. And then this right here, see this little gray part right here, this right here, this is more of the fine tuning. I can twist this and it can raise and lower the float valve. Now what I do is I tend to put it to where the float valve is all the way at the bottom of it, because my tendency is I tend to get it a little too shallow, and then I can always raise it to get my level up. So I put it at the very bottom, within reason of it, so that way when I put it on, I can raise this valve to shut off without having to take this all apart. So I'm going to push this down on there, and again, it just fits right over that hole. And I just push it down on there. Now, right now, I've got to set the level to where, so you can see this valve kind of goes up and down. When it's all the way up, when that float rises, that shuts the water off. So I want to kind of set it to where that float is down, and I figured that, let's see, that's probably where it's going to have to be. So I'm going to set it there for now, and all I did was I pushed that float down, and I'm going to screw this down just to get that float to drop. All right, now just for the sake of not a splatter, I'll just push this on right there. There's a little nipple right there. I'm just going to push that onto that, and that just, if you think about your toilet, that goes into the little hole, and it kind of fills the tank. I mean, it fills the bowl as you're filling the tank. I just do that so the water doesn't splatter out. Now I'm going to go back and turn the water on, and you'll see what happens with the valve. I'm at my hose bib, and there's my valve, and I'm going to turn on. You might hear the water start flowing too. Did you hear that? All right, so let's go over and look. All right, as we get close to it, we see that the water is flowing. All right, you can hear it. Now, all I have to do is lift up on this right here, and that water will shut off. But I want that water to run, and again, I can kind of tell by lifting this that this is probably going to go up another 3/4 of an inch. So that's not too bad, but I'm going to need it to come up a little more. So I'm going to screw this down because that'll cause the float valve to sit up higher. And that'll mean it have to raise up higher by the time it shuts off, right? So I'm going to leave it just like that and go, okay, so still it's running. And then when I lift it, it's about 3/4 of an inch still, maybe just an inch. And that's probably enough. And I know that it'll shut off, so you can hear it. It stops. All right. The reason I had to replace this one is this one just got sticky and it wouldn't drop. The valve wouldn't drop. The float valve wouldn't drop and start releasing water. And so the pool got very low. So I'm going to leave this like this, and I'm going to tell my client to keep an eye on it. And then next week when I come back, I'll do any fine-tuning adjustments to get the level where I want it. But that's pretty much how you replace a bottom feed float valve. One more thing, I made sure I put the cover back on correctly because we don't want somebody stepping in that, hurting their ankle, breaking their foot or something like that. And there you have it, my friends. That's how you change a bottom feed autofill valve for your auto leveler. Remember, a couple points to remember: make sure you turn the water supply off so you don't get water spraying all over the place. And also know that you got to have to kind of keep an eye on your pool water level as the autofiller works to get a fine-tune adjustment. And again, the two ways to adjust it, again, you can pop that little retaining ring off the center portion so the top part and the bottom part move. But again, make sure if you do that part that you shut the water supply off, because if not, it'll blow the top part of it right off. So don't try to do that with the water supply on. My idea for adjusting it is use that top screw, that little gray screw that I showed you. And again, if you unscrew it, then what happens is the float itself, if you unscrew it, it pushes the float down. So that way, if you want the water level's getting too high, unscrew lefty-loosey that screw, and that'll push the float valve or the float part down, so it takes less water to lift it up, which is what shuts it off. If your water level's still a little low, then screw that valve down or screw it to the right, righty-tighty. So screw that, and what that'll do is that'll raise the valve up to then again, then the water level will continue to raise as you need. But that's pretty much it. Well, I hope that makes sense. And again, that's how you replace that valve. I'll be doing another one in the not too distant future on a side feed valve as well. Again, I thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe to this channel and share this video with any friends that you have who want to do it themselves when it comes to their pool. Sorry, I almost forgot to add this. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments section below this video, or you can email me directly. And again, the address will show up right down here, kennypoolschool@gmail.com. Again, it's kennypoolschool@gmail.com. And as always, have fun, be safe, and always, always, always watch those kids around water. And I will see you next time.